and it looks like the gremlins. I'm just moving around in the office to see if we can get a better signal in terms of this. But thank you very much, Pearl, and thank you very much to Proudly South Africa that we can be here today. Yes, there are some gremlins, and unfortunately, that's part of the technology layout that we have. My colleague who heads up the small business has also been unable to join. And really, the intent of today was to actually play a video which we would have loved to have shared with you from the Commissioner and certain other videos, but to be available with regards to questions. I think we do recognize that a tax can be quite a burden to a business in whether it be customs duties, when we talk of border posts, when we talk of VAT, when we talk of pay as you earn, when we talk of income tax obligations and different tax returns. And really, we are at a point in our organization where we want to give absolute clarity to our taxpayers as to their obligations, to make it easy for the compliant people to comply with their obligations. And obviously, where people are not obeying the rules, to be hard and firm in terms of how we deal with them. But we do recognize there is a constant need for us to provide greater clarity, and there are many businesses who find challenges in dealing with SARS, whether it be in respect of audits that we're undergoing, whether it be with regards to registration, how you must do A or B or C, whatever that might be. And really why we are here today, Pearl, and other people on the line, is simply to be available to you and say, how can we help? How do we come alongside you and help? And that's really why we are here today, to engage. And really, it doesn't end at this session. We want to be open for other questions that may come, Pearl, in terms of the interactions that you have with the public. Because if we don't make it easy, then it becomes an obstacle to doing business, and we don't want to be that obstacle. So just in a nutshell from me, but we're open to questions and comments, and really we would love to be able to engage.
Thank you for that, Mark. Are you able to hear me properly now, Delegates? Mark? A thumbs up would be nice. Is my sound clear? Fantastic. Thank you very much. Mark, thank you for that. And we are very sorry that Tshidi could not help us here. She did say she's struggling to log on. But again, it is the nature of online conferencing. Thank you. Delegates, if you have any questions for Mark, please post them here in the... Oh, look at that. Tshidi's here. Tshidi, we were just about to take some questions for the audience, but of course, if you... Well, you don't know what Mark has said, but if you have anything to say about SARS, even if it is a repetition, by all means, please have your say to the audience, and maybe while you do that, they can then think of their questions and type it in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much, and I do apologize for joining a bit late. Yeah, I think probably Mark has explained what we are all about. We are here to try and make it easy for SMMEs to comply. So we are quite in line with the objectives of government to try and remove the red tapes, to try and educate our SMMEs about their obligations, and also to be accessible to them. We have a number of incentives that are available to SMMEs that are not being taken up by a whole lot of them. So we want to engage and get them to understand those incentives, and for them to take them up. Those incentives will result in a lot of SMMEs paying lesser tax than your normal big business. But all that information is available on our website. We also have a lot of programs for people who are moving, who are importing and exporting goods, that they can also take up. One of them is an AEO program, which talks to accreditation of a lot of traders, exporters and importers. But all that information is on our website. I can't go through all the details. It's quite a lot. But thanks for the opportunity.
Tshidi, thank you so very much for that, and thank you for joining us despite the trouble you've been having. There we go. We have a question, I think. Yes, it is a question from Andriso Matuto. Andriso, thank you so much. You've been you've been such a sport this morning, and we really appreciate it. So please stay till the end of today. How do you ensure that the small businesses are aware of the SARS incentives that are meant to support their businesses? Mark or
Okay, can I answer?
Yes, please, any of you.
All right.
Go for it, Tshidi.
So thank you. Thanks, Mike. We do have a number of webinars that we run. So we've done webinars last year, and the content was recorded and it's on our website. We have a small business page on our website. So if you go to sars.gov.za, you will see a small business icon. Please go into that. You will get all our materials. We also have a YouTube channel called SARS TV, where we have all this information relating to the incentives. So the videos that we've done, we know that they are quite long, so we've tried to segment them. So the SMMEs can go to the sections that talks to the incentives that you want to know more about. So the information is there on our website, as I said, and on YouTube video. But you are also welcome to visit our branches. Currently, you have to come to our branch via an appointment system. You can make an appointment on our website, and our agents will be glad to take you through the incentives that you currently have.
Thank you so much for that. I'm going to jump Fortunate's question and come back to it, but you've just spoken about the website that has information. There's a question from Kopano who says, good morning. So does SARS provide some sort of course on how tax in South Africa works? Would that website then speak to that as well?
Mark, do you want to answer that? Sorry, I'm just in and out of network.
Mark, are you still here with Mark? I think we've lost Mark.
The SARS network issue. So we don't have a particular course. We are working on having a curriculum on tax. But we don't have a particular course that takes you from point A to point B. We have pieces of materials that talks about obligations of SMMEs when it comes to tax. So as I said, I think I'm going to repeat myself. That material is available there. In those materials, we tried to, at a high level, explain to the owners, what their obligations are in terms of registration. When are you supposed to be registering for income tax, for VAT, for PAYE, or even the incentives that we have? When are you supposed to be filing your return? When are you supposed to be paying? What do you do if you're audited, and how do you avoid, getting audited? So all that information is, most of it is on our YouTube, but as well as our web page.
Tshidi, thank you for answering that. Mark, welcome back. Kopano, I hope your question was answered. Fortunate, let's jump back to you. I am a small business owner. I've tried to apply for funding with SERA, NIDA, NEG for my security company, but I'm not getting any help. So how can we then help Fortunate?
So the question is, he went to SERA to apply for
funding for his security company.
Yeah, I don't think it's a tax related question. I'm not able to answer that because I think isn't SERA the regulator for security companies?
Yes, Fortunate. I just thought as well, perhaps the past two presentations may be able to answer that. But if you can then just type that question to us, and then we can try and see if we can get an answer for you. So sorry about that. We have to move on. We have 4 minutes left. Does SARS offer compliance training or guidance for SMME startups? And if so, how and where can we access these?
I think that also was answered. I think we can share the materials that we currently have, if it's okay with you guys, on the tax guideline that we have for startups. As I said, it's at a very high level. We can share the video as well as the material. The video is about 4 minutes, so it's quite quick. And the materials, they'll read them at their own time. We can share a link to that kind of information. As well, we do partner with SEDA through the Department of Small Business Development. When they have training, we normally partner with them to have a slot to talk about tax issues on an introductory level. As well as other government departments, but mostly it's through SEDA that we partner for education.
Thank you, Tshidi. I think Mark had a comment to that. Virgil Harris, thank you for the question. You're on mute, Mark. You're still on mute. Tshidi, while we wait for Mark to unmute, please can you post that link in the chat here so that the delegates can have it and have access to the video?
All right, cool.
Mark, I think the gremlins really are messing with you today.
Yeah, it's a terrible day, I think.
And Tshidi, while we're here, we have 2 minutes to go and we've got a couple of questions. Are we allowed to email these questions to you? And then you can then just provide an answer for our delegates that so desperately want the answers.
Most definitely. I think the organizers have my email address.
We do.
So you please do. We will try and respond as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Mark, I am so sorry, but your gremlins are not giving you any relief today. We're gonna have to move on to our next session. Tshidi and Mark, thank you so very much for joining us this morning, despite all the internet troubles that you've both had. And thank you on behalf of Proudly South African. We really appreciate the effort, the preparation, and the time that you have put into this. Thank you. We will definitely email you. Ladies and gentlemen, we can...
Thank you very much. Bye.